Good evening, everyone.
Mostly for all Formula One fans around the world.
I'm Christoph Bolsius.
Helen Garcia here.
Welcome to a new episode of our weekly podcast, Two Bald Bearders.
Today we are going to talk about the Formula One Turkish Grand Prix.
Indeed, what a race. Honestly, this is the first race this year that did not make me fall asleep.
I mean, not at least turn 40.
Yeah, honestly, for once, I thought somebody else than Lewis Hamilton was going to win the race. It was so close, I was thinking, and then disappointed once again.
At least we got an unusual podium with less than 2 Mercedes on it. At the pole sitter sitting way back at the end.
Yeah. So yeah, with Stroll, I mean, honestly, up until lap 40, I really thought he's going to win it. He's actually going to win it. This was very tense. It was very good. I assume it was the same for you when you were watching.
Yeah, I mean, the start was quite interesting because, like Verstappen just got stuck there. His wheels started to spin like crazy, like in the cartoon movies, like start to spin, but he didn't. Yeah, the start was quite crazy, and then we had the touch between the two Renaults, Ocon out on the first corner to back of the grid. Yeah, it was quite an amazing start. I mean, the race was super nice until the semi guys ever took the lead, But in the end, we have some nice battles just for the last corner, which were also amazing.
Yeah, honestly, and with regards to Stroll being number one for like so many laps, this proves to me that if you work hard, you're dedicated, you practice. If you have all that, and the only thing you need else is a billionaire dad who buys your Formula One team, and you can be number one.
Yeah, man, looking like that is not so difficult.
Exactly. I think any billionaire's son could do it, and he's the only one doing it. So good for him, to be fair.
Yeah, there are other billionaire guys, but their dads, they didn't buy them the Formula One team just to sit. So
it's true. I'm just stingy.
Losers.
Exactly. But still, I mean, he kept it up, right? I think he was number 125 laps, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Most of the race, like really half the race until he made the second stop, which really killed his race, or he killed himself. I don't know.
It's probably also a millennial attitude. He was like, look, I've been number one half the race. That's it, And he just...
I'm tired of this already, like I've been living for, it's so exhausting. Like I'm more comfy in the middle of the table.
My hands are so tiring. I'm sweating. Yeah, no, but still, I mean, good for him. He did pretty well until he didn't anymore.
He believed it for a while,
Yeah, I think a lot of people, I'm sure his dad was like, oh my God, my son, see, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Success breeds success. This is what my talent does, this is my DNA, texting to all his buddies. And then after lap 40, he was like, oh, fuck, I need to go on Tinder, find me a new wife, make some new sons, make better sons this time.
It's a rich guy. And
yeah. What Formula One drivers can do, it's one in 1,000, 1 in 10,000, right? People have reflexes like that, so it's not the So well, he tried.
I mean, you have to give it to him. Like his start was really, really good, and he was doing a good leading until this second stop. So I mean, for a guy who has been never leading a Formula One race for so long, he just held up quite well until that stop. But for me, the two big winners of this race, this crazy race, it was the first race, starting on rain like since Germany last year, which has been a long time. Like this season being so weird as it is, like we are every race just hoping for rain to make it entertaining. Because we've had already a shitty year so far, so we just want to have some fun on the weekends, and this one was really the first one starting on proper wet tarmac. And I mean, if you see, like the quality was super weird because Ferraris obviously they were far away from the lead, which honestly has been the normal thing during this season. But McLaren, which has always had one car at least on the top 10, they had both like far away on the back.
Yeah.
And if you see the final results, like both Ferrari and McLaren, they put both cars in the points, which for me is amazing. It's been, honestly, for me, it's been the best part of the race. Like both teams with their fights and their struggles and the battles between drivers, because if you see, Vettel and Leclerc have been fighting the whole race until the very, very last corner or the very last lap now, where Leclerc unfortunately lost his third place,
Yeah, that was
which honestly he deserved it because he's been
close.
holding up for Ferrari the whole season.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel also good for Vettel because I think he was really reaching his personal bottom, like he was touching already very, very deep, and this might at least spiritually or in the sense of a mood, he might be saved at least for next year, so he can have still some motivation, like he can still be on the top, or at least in
Yeah.
the podiums regularly, because this year with Ferrari for him has been really, 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 I mean, terrible.
Yeah, and I always feel. I mean, I know it shouldn't, but I always feel worse for companies like Ferrari and McLaren because they're in the business of producing sports cars. So if they don't do well, I know it doesn't matter that much because it's Formula One. But if you're a business selling sports cars and your sports cars are not doing well, it's the other one. You're competing with energy drinks. Like for them, it's not quite the same. I mean, if you're, yeah, for them, I always think there's more pressure on them somehow.
Yeah, but the Red Bull cars, they have always had wings, so
That is,
they were cheating the whole time.
yeah. And Mercedes has German efficiency, so they're just like straight to the point. Somehow I'm still surprised that the French cars make it to the end. I mean, before I started watching Formula One, I was surprised that Renault actually is in Formula One, but I am
I
impressed.
would say because French cars, as for that matters, it's ironic because they are normally quite. The problem is they are so. Here's the issue. So Renault or French cars, they are widely sold in huge numbers, and obviously they're going to have huge numbers of problems because
Yeah,
of the statistical amount of cars sold. But if you see some figures, like they are really normally they are really reliable. Like my mechanics professor, he had I think he doesn't have it anymore, but he had a Peugeot like with 750k kilometers, which is crazy. It's 750,000 kilometers on it.
that is crazy.
So I mean, if the races were about reliability, like if one Formula race was like 500 laps on it, I would say the French cars would be more on top.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They should do that once instead of 58 or
It's
50,
like,
whatever
yeah,
it is.
you don't need to go so fast, but just get it to the end, like
Yeah,
5 million kilometer race. It will
yeah.
still hold on.
The 24 hours of Francorchamps, but they should do it with Formula One cars.
Yeah, something like this.
But then people would go mental if Hamilton would still win.
Can
And
you imagine like doing a 24-hour Formula One race with Hamilton in the lead? Like he would win like for 20 hours of advantage or something.
yeah, exactly. We've yeah taken over.
Like,
It would just be overtake after overtake after overtake, and yeah,
yeah.
we'd go sleep, and the others would take 3 4 hours to finish. That would be not so much fun.
Unfortunately, we had some hopes on 2022, but now we will have to wait. Sorry, for 2021, but
21.
now we will have to
Yeah.
wait for 2022 with a new regulation. So it's going to be, I would say, I put my money, not too much because I'm poor, but I would put some money on Hamilton winning his 8th championship, passing Michael Schumacher,
Schumacher.
and then
Yeah.
leaving the Formula One like he's done it already, and
Oh
because you can
yeah.
see he's starting already to get bored of it. Like he's complaining constantly. He's always been complaining about everything, but lately, like he's just complaining at the tiniest detail, just to, I don't know if he's just bored of it or he just wants to have an excuse in case he doesn't win because he's supposed to win everything.
Yeah.
So
It could be that he's just a whiny little bitch, that just if he were to stop Formula One, he would just be at home all day complaining to the fridge, to Siri, to,
yeah,
to his Amazon Alexa. Like it's true, like someone like him who's in that position and still complains. It's just come on, man, you have everything, you win everything. Shut up, just shut up.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, because when you're winning everything and you're still complaining, it's just you're not having fun anymore.
No, exactly. No, I
Because
think you're
obviously,
right.
even for him, it might be boring. Like he's leading already from lap 2, and he's just riding alone
Yeah,
with 30 seconds difference on the second one. So he's
yeah.
not really. He's just driving a car around the circuit for many laps.
Even today, like, it was like he was giving the others a chance. Maybe he told himself, you know what, let's give them a 40 lap head start, and then I start. And he still won by 24 seconds
Yeah.
compared to
So,
I think
but
it's 20.
actually, I think today he enjoyed more than the last races,
He was
because at
shooting
least
himself.
for the first half he had to fight it really.
Yeah,
So
for sure. It was easy. And with the wet road as well, it doesn't make it easier. It's still more
then it was
dangerous.
same old, you know. But
Yeah.
what I was amazed is, I mean, it's obviously a wet race, at least the most part of it. But how many people were spinning? Like, how many times did Verstappen spin? And I mean, how fast has been he driving to spin so many times and still finish where he did? Because
It,
for most of the riders, if you spin so many times, you just end like 17th. So he was
You
driving
know,
like crazy.
still did really well because then he did some spinning, like the Kylie Minogue song, spinning around.
Yeah.
I think they were playing that song on the track today, and still he managed. A few rounds later, boom, he was back in third position and some more spinning. Yeah, poor guy, he must be.
You see that this. That's why Formula One is interesting, because you have many different kinds of drivers, good drivers, because you have Verstappen style, which is driving like a madman and still doing it good, and you have drivers like Sainz, which today did an amazing race. Like he started 15th and he finished this far to finishing fourth. It's the guy who won most positions in the race.
Yeah,
He overtook on the track, but is this guy like he just goes. He's just like this constant driving, you know. So you have the more, let's say, if they were prostitutes, let's say they were prostitutes, you have this
of
loud
course.
bitch, which fucks amazing, but still like shut up already. And you have the bitch, which still that fucks amazing, but she's doing the work as she's asked to, like no drama, just do the work, do it properly, and that's it. And that's what
Perfect
is
comparison. I think it's a
nice
good
about that.
comparison. Yeah. Um,
They both suck dick, but you might get different impressions of it.
yeah. I mean, no, but I mean, I definitely felt bad for some people today. But the qualifier, was it done on wet? Was it wet? Was it raining
The
during the
qualifier was proper wet, yeah, proper
proper
rainy.
more
It was
rainy?
proper rainy. So
Okay.
that's why it was so weird, because for the Q1, like many drivers, they just went out really early, which gave them time to make a good lap before the rain started to fall heavily, and they had to change to wet tires because they were doing the first laps on the intermediates, and that's what put Ocon first for the most part of the Q1, and that's why McLaren's. But I would say McLaren, they did a pretty good fuck up on the strategy on the qualifying, because they did just the opposite of the rest, and that punished them, because they choose to start the Q2 on intermediates when everybody was going out on wet,
Yeah.
and then they just didn't have time enough to go and do proper laps with the wet tires. So, and I think that's what punished them, the bad choice of strategy. But in the end, all is good, which finishes good, and I think McLaren, they did a good work finishing the race, both
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they really, especially if you go. I mean, some of the like Hamilton started seventh,
Sixth.
sixth. Okay, and then he went for obviously number one. What about Stroll? What was his starting position?
Stroll started the first, obviously, and he finished in 10th.
Ah,
So,
10th. I thought it was eighth. Okay, 10th. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So it was. I mean, in a general note, I would say the race was amazing, because even if Hamilton took the lead and he just went on for it, like we had many amazing battles in the midfield, which has been the general entertainment this season. And And I hope we have still some of the last races remaining of this season.
No, because I remember like the last few races I watched, you can leave for 10 minutes, come back, nothing will have changed. Whereas this, I would go on my phone for 20 seconds, I come back, and something like I said before, Hamilton
Something
was
happened.
I was Instagram for 10 seconds, suddenly Hamilton was number one. I was like, how? What happened? Did he teleport? And yeah, honestly, then I put my phone away and just kept watching because it was so fast and it was really hectic. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really, really a good race.
And with that, we have come to the end of our fourth Two Ball Bearded Dudes Formula One special.
So, if you like our Lego cars, please leave a thumbs up and give us a comment.
Don't forget to subscribe as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye next week.
Mostly for all fans around the world. Oh shit, okay, it's nice.
That's for the bloopers. By the way, my friends, they love the bloopers. Everybody says the bloopers are really funny.
Yeah. Frozen?
No, I'm waiting for, sorry, you clapped? Okay. Okay, let me do it.
Second blooper, that's nice.
No, we can still continue. We just cut out this part.
A thumbs up and leave a comment.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
No. You forgot something, motherfucker.
Don't forget to like.